Hello everybody. Good evening. We are at Puhonua Hub right now. This is my guest, Uncle Keone. Yeehaw! Uncle Kenneth right over there. We also have Kanoa back. Kaeo back there, and also Puki. But we are here at Puhonua. We're going to give up on live eruption update of what's happening in Puna, Lower Puna. Just a quick informational, wow.
Update.
That's an update
From Scott, isn't it?
Wow. Okay. So we're going to do a live lava update. So on my end, on what I know, Fissure 8 is still pumping high volume of lava. That is sending lava through the channelized flows down to the ocean entry. The ocean entry is still very much active. It's about 1.5 miles wide, and it's still very much active. Hey, and so there's still lava entering the ocean. As far as quantity of lava, still the same. It hasn't dropped or hasn't picked up at all. But also Fissure 8. Wait, hold on. I gotta talk to somebody, but
All right. Hey, everybody. Guess it's my turn. Yeah, we're gonna keep it short tonight. Talk mostly just about Kapoho area because Ikaika needs to get some rest. Yeah, so that's the kind. So yeah, the amount of lava coming out hasn't changed very much. The level in the channels is more or less the same. Hasn't changed much since our last update. So not much change there. Most of the change is happening around the ocean entry area. So the reports of the lava flows kind of more to north end, kind of south end that was going towards Kokala, that has seemed to have stalled out, at least for today. There are a lot more flows on the north side, and unfortunately took some homes today. So that's unfortunate news for today. I'll show you guys a thermal map here. Let me get it up so you guys can see. Hold on, so give me change the view here. Alright, so the latest thermal map. Sorry, I'll usually do this by myself. Alright, showing the ocean entry area. So right in here, oh sorry, let me figure this out here. Right in here is where we have the hottest flow at the north edge of the ocean entry. There's a little black sand beach right in there, and then another big flow right in here going in the ocean. And it's still active in lots of little places all the way down, right? Here's the south edge, right here, showing a little bit of heat, but not really that much compared to before, yeah. So it might be moving a little bit still, but it's not really advancing quite as much. And part of it's because the river that was coming all the way down through here, first crusted over down at this edge over here. I talked about that the last update. And now you can see it's crusting over almost all the way up to here, right through there like that. So we're not sure, there's probably a lava tube that goes right underneath all of here. It might keep going back over here where the flow originally went, or it might be kind of seeping through underneath these areas. We're not sure. Definitely in this northern area over here, it's doing some of that seeping, right? There's a lot of crust on top of the flow in this area over here, so it's going through and kind of feeding this north edge. And this is unfortunately where the houses have been burning, right? So let me show you guys another photo I just got. Alright, so here's a photo I just got showing there's a river of lava crusted over from this point down, and there is the big breakout that's kind of feeding into the ocean right there. Right, so that's a view of the ocean entry right now, and yeah, over here are the houses. They're kind of being affected from there. So that's basically what we know is going on. Around, let me see if I can see you guys questions. Around Fissure 8, we haven't seen much change around there. I think there's a little bit of confusion around Fissure 8. If you look at the aerial photographs and videos, there's a spot where you see lava kind of coming out from, it looks like a crack in the ground just below the fissure. It looks like it's actually a small lava tube, so it kind of goes in above there and it's kind of flowing underneath that crust, but very close to the surface, right? So that's not what I would call a seep. I'd want it to come down through the wall on the side lower down on that. So I think that particular spot is flowing still. but it's not seeping around there that I know of. To answer that question. Let's see. How deep is the ocean entry? I don't know. I just know that when we had a lot more, when lava was kind of pancaking out, there wasn't as much going in one spot, so it wasn't exploding quite as much. When it's exploding, the reason I bring that up is when it's exploding, you have some idea of where the explosion is being generated. If it's being generated right at the surface of the water, or if it's a little farther underwater, or what exactly like that. Yeah. Okay, so 22, according to what Ikaika told me just earlier, 22 is still glowing. I think that there is probably still a little bit of smoldering. Some people reported seeing some smoke today from that area. Probably, we're not sure, you know, if that was a big brush fire. We've had some reports that might have been actually like in the ground, in the soil, actually smoldering. So we're not sure how that's affected the houses that are nearby the area. We're concerned about those houses as well, but we don't have any reports of anything with any houses over there being affected so far. We just know that there was that brush fire, so we'll keep looking into that and see what we can get back to tell you guys. Everything else is basically the same. All lava's coming out of Fissure 8. It's not really coming out of anywhere else except that little one of 22 that kind of came out yesterday and day before. So that flow did kind of make it to the edge past the old flow field a tiny bit, but that flow itself is kind of stalled. So Nana Valley, no change in Nana Valley. I mean, I think everyone in Nana Valley should still kind of, you know, be on alert and be ready, and, you know, like now's the time to be kind of going through like your stuff and prioritizing like what you would take if you had to get out in a hurry, you know, like hopefully it doesn't ever come to that, but now you got time to think clearly about that stuff. Yeah. Oh, here we got to kick it back.
All right, sorry guys. We had somebody come back to Hub, and we had some questions. It was one of a county official, not going to mention any names, but had to get some clarification because of the enforcement of lava viewing in Leilani, especially with people that own property that is still standing. They can't even leave their property to even go look at what's happening down the road.
They can't take a picture from.
They cannot take a picture
from their house.
They cannot. The new law is, well, not a law. They cannot take pictures from their house of the fissure. So we had to get that clarified, and apparently to me, I think the government just doesn't want anybody to know what's going on, and they want to keep the knowledge in their hands because knowledge is power. So I just got that confirmed. So National Guard is actually cracking down on homeowners that is trying to take pictures of the lava. So yeah, so that's what's happening now. As far as what I left off, the ocean entry. The ocean entry is still pumping. Lava that was moving south this afternoon has kind of slowed down. So it's still about 200 yards away from Ahalanui Point. And yeah, so it's moving. It's not moving south, but it's actually moving north. So we're gonna go.
Yeah, I can show them again. Right, there's the area I was just talking about down here. And we hold this. Yes. Yeah. So. All right. So. Yeah, that's the. We can go back to talk about. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's a new policy, right? It's not a law because you can't make a law that fast. Yeah, it's interesting to see. Apparently, there's a lot of confusion on what's happening in Leilani right now. Yeah, and there's a lot of people who need to see the lava to kind of, you know, keep their sanity of what's going on with their house, and so we totally understand that, and that's kind of why we've been doing what we've been doing, getting information from all the different places and sharing with you guys. Yeah, so I think I'm not scared that's going to stop anytime soon, but we just got to work out what's going on here. Yeah. So I did just get a text with a new photo of the area around the PGV that had the brush fire yesterday. And from what I can tell, the smoldering has actually stopped. Here, let me kind of turn this around and see if I can show you guys this photo. All right, so kind of this is the flow over here. 22 is up in here. The flow came down and set this brush fire over here, this kind of brown area. All through here is what actually got burned, right? So it looks like it's actually done smoldering right now. And yeah, that's the word for there. So I think 22 is probably not as active as it was yesterday, basically. So the new policy, yeah, it's interesting. You know, it's people who are around here have kind of come to accept the fact that the rules seem to change on an almost daily basis. It kind of depends who's going in there, you know, who's in charge, what happened recently, you know, who's upset about something else. So that part can be very frustrating for a lot of us. Yeah. So let's see. Let me go back to some questions here. So going to be a shelf breakoff at some point. Yeah, I mean the lava delta where it's going in the ocean, you know, the area of the bay is probably not likely to collapse because the bay was fairly shallow, but anything offshore there will probably collapse a little bit and kind of keep collapsing and settling until the whole thing is done. You know, it might not be the end of the flow until it's done settling. It might take the first kind of big wave storm to come and kind of push all that debris and sand and rocks around that are loose to kind of settle it into a shape that might actually keep for a while. But I don't expect, like, you know, anything huge, kind of huge collapse happen anytime soon, because it's not really building out into the ocean. I don't know. I suppose it is kind of building out, but we haven't seen any signs of collapse. I suppose is what I would say. So let's see. And then go back through some more questions. Yeah, contact your senator. Yeah, you guys can, if you definitely live near here, and definitely contact your local representatives and let them know that you know what you guys think about these policies that they're putting out. Yeah. Okay, so the warm pond isn't in any, like, you know, it's not imminently under threat. The lava is kind of inching its way down that way a little bit, but it's not really that close to Kuokala yet. I mean, it's still oozing a little bit that way, so I'll be a little bit worried. But I'm not worried about it right now. Plates in 130, I looked at those just recently, like I guess back. Temperatures are still about the same as that.
Same.
Still in the hundreds, so nothing new,
different.
Nothing new there, yeah.
Still the same temperature. Nothing has changed. As far as the temperature of the plates, there are reports of the plates moving or melting, or some of the structure part of the plates are moving or melting. That's not the case. I don't think so. It is. I talked to one of the road crew, and it's still stable. Plates are still stable on the road. But the thing that I wanted to talk about is today, near Fisher 8, we've seen a couple of different plumes coming from on the south end of Fisher 8 and the north side of Fisher 8, and also by the Y. Like there was a plume there. And the reports that I got was there could have been some breaches that was kind of entering forested areas.
Yeah, so yeah, I talked a little bit about the picture that I got of a brush fire that happened yesterday over by the Y, and how it might have been smoldering. And I just got a picture now that doesn't show any more smoke over there. So I don't know if it's burned itself out,
yeah,
or what happened. But to start a fire, it had to have reached the green area for sure.
Yeah,
so you're totally right on that.
So that's one of the things that we have been seeing. What else? So again, lava that was moving south at the ocean entry has kind of slowed down. A lot of lava is moving north, and you've seen it in my videos earlier today.
We're still kind of seeing that pancaking action, and, you know, like the river is trying to reestablish its main path to the ocean. So we'll see if that's happening, or if it's going to stay crested tubed over, or exactly how that's going to play out. But
right.
As far as how it's actually affecting people, it's still going in the ocean, still pumping in the ocean, it's still creeping north towards those houses. That's the most important thing we can tell you guys tonight. And yeah. We'll do another update tomorrow. It's longer with like summit information and all that. You know, but we're gonna keep that out for today, just so.
Yeah. So we want to analyze the information and kind of come with better ideas of what's happening in the eruption.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, there was a really good public meeting up in the volcano a couple nights ago, Thursday night. I think there's a post that USGS, or not USGS, Hawaii Volcanoes National Park posted a link to the Big Island video news that has the whole thing in its entirety. It's almost 2 hours long. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, I would suggest to skip to the questions at the end, because that's got probably the questions that you have are probably some of those questions people asked as well. The whole thing is valuable, so if you have time to watch the whole thing, do. But if you don't have those 2 hours right away and you really want to see what's going on, you know, it might help you to look at those questions. Maybe start something like a little bit over an hour into the thing, you know, something like that. Yeah, so check that out. Yeah.
Right on. And also, we're gonna have some more updates of. We got the updates of what's happening in the lower east rift zone, but we want to confirm it and kind of get a better explanation of what's happening in the east rift zone on the volume of lava and the intensity of lava, and what's the next you know, stage that is happening.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys, yeah, we're gonna keep it short, like I said, yeah. Let this guy get some rest. And barely get through the whole update without having to do something else, yeah. So yeah.
Alright, gang. So other than that, you know, any other information that you want to give out right now?
There's nothing that's that urgent, yeah. I mean, nothing really major has changed. You know, people can rest easy tonight, pretty much. You know, unless you're one of those people on a couple of beach lots, and then you probably haven't rested in a long time. Yeah. So feel for you guys. What I heard was that 3 houses today.
Yeah.
Burned down. So we're very sorry. But everyone else, it's probably.
Let me see that picture of Scott's.
Okay.
We want to show you this picture. Hold on.
I think I might have.
And this picture is
This one.
This picture is of just this evening of the Kapoi eruption.
Yeah.
You can see still there's a bunch of lava still going into the ocean.
Yeah, one big channel kind of right here by the north. This is looking towards the south. It's a channel and then crusted over beyond that.
So it could be tubing up.
Yeah, it could be. It could be the tube might actually do the same path before it kind of goes up and around and back down this way. So we'll see. There is a little bit of lava seeping still, you know, out of that pile in the south, but not nearly as much as what's coming out here, right? Or is this coming out farther up in this area up in here where you can't really see it in this picture so much. The picture that you had,
yeah,
you actually can see there's a lot of flow breaking out from the area around the beach lots.
Right on.
Yeah.
And then we also had some information on some earthquakes near Four Corners.
Yeah, so the ones that we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there were some that popped up and then it disappeared. Is that what we were talking about?
Yeah.
So it's hard to say why they might pop up and disappear, but you know, there's not enough of them in one area to be concerned about anything major changing there. Like for example, there's not a fissure opening up there right now.
Oh,
yeah, so that's probably what you need to know. Yeah. The ground could be settling. There are old faults that exist around Four Corners area, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, in fact, when Town Village was actually there, it sat in a little valley, right? With a cliff on both sides. Those were the faults. And 6 eruption kind of buried all of that, but those cracks are still underground there, so the thing could still be just settling from all the lava and all that stuff that's moving up there. But we don't see a whole bunch of earthquakes happening in a sense where there's no swarm, there's no magma moving in there from underground.
Right.
So I'm not worried about that tonight either.
All right, guys. So as far as tomorrow, we'll be at noon tomorrow. We'll be doing an in-depth live of what's happening in.
Yeah, we'll cover all the bases.
Yeah, we'll cover everything. A longer live update. So a lot of people are asking about Halemaumau. We'll let you guys know tomorrow. So we gotta analyze the data that came in and kind of see what's going on, and then talk to you guys tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So check us out at 12 o'clock tomorrow. Same place. If you guys want to see it live in person, come down to Pu'uhonua o Puna. We'll be doing the live here with myself and Philip and a couple other people. And come here and get some lunch while you listen to us do our live. And you guys can come over here and ask us questions right at the hub here, and we can go forward Another thing too that I want to plug, Puhonua o Puna is part of a huge transitional home housing project. So stay tuned for that and more of that. All right, everybody. Aloha and have a good night. See you guys tomorrow. I'll be on the boat in the morning tomorrow. Wait for my live at the boat, on the boat near the ocean entry. And aloha, everybody. And what we like to say is, stay classy, Puna.